So this is a beginner tutorial guide to Paint 3D. So when you open Paint 3D, you are welcomed with this new open and then paste sections. So we'll click on new to go to our new page. We have our canvas here. This is the canvas, and on top here we have our menu where we can create a new project or open a file, insert an image. We save the project file or save as an image of a PNG or JPEG. You can also share and then print. Here when we go to browse, it opens. So let's cancel. When we go to browse, it opens files for us to import and then work on it. On the top menu here, we have our brushes. We have 2D shapes, we have 3D shapes, we have stickers, text, effects, canvas, and 3D library. We are going to go over all this to help us create an artwork in it. So we have our select tool here, we have our crop tool here. We know what crop is. We have our magic select here, which is a very useful tool for us to do a whole lot of stuff with. Alright, so now let's go to our brushes. We have different kinds of brushes here. We have our marker, we have calligraphy pen, and so on. And this helps us to create different types of artworks. So for example, let's make a landscape with this. So let's use the spray can tool, and then the spray can, let's select an orange color here, and then let's spray and let's increase the thickness and then opacity to about say 81%, and then spray on the canvas like this. So click on your mouse, let's increase the opacity to 200, sorry, and click on the mouse to spray on your canvas. So now while we've done this, let's create a ground floor. Let's create a ground floor, or no, let's select the gold color, and then same settings, thickness 201 and opacity to 100, and let's blend the gold color with the orange one. So blend it like this. Let's decrease the opacity a little bit and then blend it, decrease it to about say 44% and blend it. So yes, so and then select the orange color again, and then let's blend here as well. Okay, so now that we've gotten this, let's select our black color, increase the thickness, and then select the let's select the marker tool, and then let's increase the thickness a little bit, and let's draw a rigid ground, a rough ground like this. So now we can fill in these spaces here, fill out the spaces here. Can fill out the spaces. So just so you know, I'm using my mouse for this. If you have a graphics tablet, it's a plus. I have my graphics tablet, but I haven't plugged in yet. So we can paint or make a mark on the white area. So wherever wherever you see a white space, even if it's small, just make sure you fill it with your black color. Very good. So now let's create our sunset. I would like to use the yellow, and then use the spray sorry, the spray can. So same settings, and just click, double click, continue to click on one area, continue to click. I like to use the gold as well. Continue to click on one area, continue to click, and let's use the yellow again. Continue to click on one area, continue to click on one area till it gets bigger. So thickness, and continue to click. Let's select the gold color again, continue to click like that, and so continue to click. And now let's select the gold color again, increase the thickness to 300, and continue to click. Now let's select our white color and thickness down, and then click here. No, sorry, opacity down instead. So drag the opacity down, and then click on one side. It's too much, the opacity is too much, so drag the opacity down and thickness down as well, and fill it again with the increase the opacity and then thickness, and then fill it with the okay. So kind of blending with the gold color here. So let's make this okay, let's change it to this. And yeah, but I hope you get the idea. So you can do a lot of stuff here as well. You can select the marker and then increase the thickness a little bit and draw let's use a black color, decrease the thickness, and then draw something like a tree. And so this is just a simple guide to drawing a landscape in Paint 3D. So we can do something like this, and let's make the roots bigger here. Good. So you can do anything here. We can even make a grass, let's say grass here. Yeah, so this is a simple guide to making a landscape in Paint 3D. Yes, so now we are done with our brushes. We'll move to 2D shapes. So now let's go to the 2D shapes. And the 2D shapes, we have sections, we have the line and curve, we have our 2D shapes where we have square, triangles, rectangles, star, wrong, right, and so on, and cross, and then check mark here, and the love shape. So now let's see how the line shape works. When we click on the line shape, it's just we click once, and we can drag here to make a line. To make a line, you can drag it small or out to make a line. Now, if you want to duplicate this, we can just click on the stamp and then we can rotate it, or we'll move it. And if you want to commit, if you want to finalize it, then we click the check mark and then to finalize it. So you can select all and then delete. So we have our 3-point curve. Here we can be able to adjust the middle, and which is very, very useful in different types of scenarios. So we have our 3 curve point here, and this is very, very useful. Same, we can be able to duplicate by clicking the stamp. Then we can be able to finalize it by clicking the commit, and it finalizes the and there's nothing we can do about this. Okay, now we can select all and then delete. Now we have our 4-point curve, which I like using a lot. So we click on it, so we drag, and this gives us more room to be able to control our curve. So we can drag, and then we can, sorry, I didn't mention that we can also increase the thickness here. The opacity, we can increase, we can decrease or increase it. We can also change the 3D. We can make it 3D. Then we can rotate it like this. Okay, then yes, so same thing. We can, so when we make it 3D, we will click on it, we can be able to drag it and move it around the canvas. All right, so the same applies to the 5-point curve too. Yeah, now we have our 2D shapes. So let's see how the 2D shapes works and what we can do with it. But first, let me show you a simple work you can do with the 4-point curve too. And now let's watch. So this is a simple scene we can actually do with our curve, and this is a combination of what we learned the last time, the brushes and the shapes. So we can, I could have used the sun. I could have used the circle for the sun here, but I decided to use the spray can. So we can use the circle for the sun here. So we go to our brushes and then we click on this and we use the how do you call it, the spray can tool to highlight the in, or we can even change the color of the circle. So we can change the color of the circle. Sorry, you can select the circle and then change the color of it to orange, and then also fill it with this, and then you can use the spray can to select the white and opacity down, and then just make so yeah, we can use the shapes for this. So now that we know there are other things you can do with the 2D shapes, obviously. Yeah, so yes, now that we know what we can do the 2D shapes, now let's go to the 3D shapes. And this is where it gets interesting. So the 3D shapes, we have our 3D doodles where we can use to create characters or anything. We can use it to create characters. So for example, when we select this tube brush, we have three of the doodle here. We have tube brush, we have the soft edge, and then we have the sharp edge. So the toothbrush, when we click on it, we can click and then draw. Then it gives us angles to work with. We can tweak the angles to however we want it. We can increase the thickness. Sorry, we can go here and make the tapper thin. So we can check mark, and then we can rotate. We can bring it, the perspective, we can bring it out. You can increase it like this. We can edit the color of this. Can change the color to whatever color that we want. So yes, when we select the 3D doodle again, we see it now works with the big. It makes the bottom part thin. Okay, so when we select this soft to big, and we select the 3D doodle again, we have this like a raindrop. Okay, we can tweak the, I said tweak, we can tweak the angles here, and we can change the color of this. Let's, by clicking the check mark here, we click the check mark here, we can change the color to any color that we want. We can rotate it like that. All right, so same applies to the soft brush here. When you click and then enter, sorry, so yeah, we also have our 3D models we can use. We have our 3D object here. We can select the cube or the sphere. So when we select the sphere like this, we can add 2D shapes to it. So for example, we have this here. We can go to 2D shapes where we have our stickers. We can add stickers to it. That is what we go over the next. So when we have our 3D shape here, we can add our sticker here to it. So can drag and then place our sticker on it, click the check mark. Then we can also add our eye to it, then drag and then duplicate it and then move it here and then click the check mark. So yes, and it forms part of the 3D shapes. We can rotate it like this and then we can rotate it like this. So that is how to use the 3D shapes. So same applies to the 3D models here. So we can select our man character. We can also add our stickers to it. So we can add textures. There are textures here. We can also add textures from our computer or from our computer. Yes. So yeah, we can also add a small character and then place it here and then drag like this. Now we can move it to the middle here and then check. We can add an eye to it. We can move it here and drag, move it here and then duplicate it, move it to this point and then check. So yes, we can also use our brushes to paint on the character. So for example, you can use the black color to paint on it, and this will be an advanced or separate tutorial that we are going to do with it. So there is the tools that we use here. I mean, the categories of things that are the menu here works with each other. We can use it to work with other categories. So yes, so the 3D shapes has all this for us, and we can use it to create different sort of artworks that we want. All right, so now our stickers, the stickers has been touched on already. We can add the 3D shapes. For example, we can add our cube here and then change the color to, let's say, white. Let's edit color and then change it to white and then rotate it like this and then rotate it like this. So we can go to our stickers and then add our sticker. We can add our fair here and then drag, and it forms part of the cube. So we can clone it and then we can check mark it like this. So yes, we can also add another sticker to it and then we can check mark like this. So the 3D shapes, the stickers helps a lot in adding textures to it. And also when it comes to the text tool here, we can create a simple 2D text. So for example, art or paint 3D, we can create our normal 2D shapes here, highlight it, change the color of it, and then you can increase the size to maybe 94 or whatever size you want. We can change the type here. You can change it to 3D shape and then we click and then type our word. So we paint 3D. So we can highlight it and then maybe you can also make it bold. So we can you can change the font as well, same thing. All right, so when you click and we have our 3D shape here, you can increase it like that and then rotate it. So good. Now that we've been able to do this, we can also add effects to it. So we can go to our effect, then we change the color of the whole scene on the canvas. We can change the effects to brighten up the 3D or the text. So this also helps in popping out artworks. So whatever artwork that you create, it helps to pop out on the canvas with the effect. So as you can see, the text P is entering the canvas. So we can solve this by moving the perspective out like this. So click on the perspective and drag it out like that, and it moves the P3D or P text out of the canvas. So now we have our canvas here. We can decrease or increase our canvas. We can make it square, we can make it landscape, we can make it portrait, or however we want it. So yes, this is how to use the canvas. We have our 3D library here where we can import 3D models, already made 3D models. We can search here for the 3D model type you want. So maybe let's say house. Let's click house and it will search for house models for us. We can choose any of the houses we want. So let's select the Roman house like this. Let's click and select the Roman house, and it will load the Roman house, and it will be dragged onto your canvas. And just so you know, this uses an internet connection. So if you don't have an internet connection, you won't be able to access this. So we have our Roman house here. We can add different sort of pre-made 3D library for this. So we can add our grass. We can add a grass to this one as well. We can add so for example, let's select this grass. I'll select this one grass one. So it loads and puts it on the canvas. So we can rotate like this. We can select and drag out like that. So click on select here to disable the canvas we selected. So click the grass, then move it out like that. Now we can decrease it. Like this. So yeah, we can also Control C, Control V, and it's duplicated. Now we can select the copied one, move it out like this, and then decrease it. So yes, this is what we can do with the 3D shapes, or the 3D library. And working with all of this helps us to create a whole different artworks on its own. So please, there are more videos that will come creating artworks, combining the 2D shapes, the 3D library, and the effect and the 3D text all in one canvas. So please, if you enjoyed this video helped you to be able to have the idea or get a whole overview understanding of the Paints 3D, please kindly like and subscribe, and then leave a comment and let me know what you would like me to do with this. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and leave a comment. Bye.